Episode 9 Blurring Rain podcast, season 1. We are here and I'm so excited. We have ourselves a solo episode today. And if you're new here, my solo episodes are great because they're a fun little mix. Okay, they're like half and half, ebb and flow, best of both worlds. I start off with updates of the month, talking about my life a little bit, what I've been up to, what the vibes are. We start a little personal and then we get a little business on the second half. Okay, then I'm like, okay, what's my topic of the day? What do I want to talk about when it comes to like digital marketing and or creativity? And we get that, like I said, best of both worlds. So that is what we're kind of gonna do today. I know it's been a couple of weeks since my last upload, and I'll be like so legitimately straight up, and this is gonna go straight into my personal life topic and my updates of the month and updates of the last couple of weeks. I'll be so straight up because I know that I said this earlier on when I started this project, and the first thing that I'll be straight up about is I told myself that I will be consistent with this project, which as a multi-potentialite, I already did a deep dive into that in an earlier episode. It is hard for me sometimes to stay consistent when I'm kind of like starting new projects and doing new things, because I'm that type of personality that it's like I have the thrill and the adrenaline of starting, but then kind of like the daily work of continuing it on sometimes falls through the cracks. But I am still here, I'm still standing, I'm still being consistent. But like I said, the part of the life where I said where I'm going to be straight up is with the fact of I told myself, okay, I do want to be consistent, but I am very busy in my life right now. So how do I balance both of those things and still carry on with the project? And what I told myself and the mindset that I have been adapting with this specifically has been, okay, I'm not going to center my life around this project, but I am going to center this project around my life. So what that means is, yes, there are weeks where I cannot film or record or even have the brain capacity to, because every single ounce of creativity in my brain has been absorbed by all the other things that I do, and that's okay, and there's no pressure in that, and there's no pressure that I am giving myself in that. So with centering this project around my life, it means that I can't always film every week, but it still means that I will continue and that I will press on and that I will be consistent. So I start off with all that personal life spiel and slight vulnerability because I thought that that could be encouraging. Like I was like, you know what, maybe if I share kind of where I'm at with just a project in general, maybe someone who's feeling the same way can kind of relate. So if you can relate, you are not alone and let me just be the example and the testament to just honestly just keep going, keep doing something because you want to do it, with no pressure for it to take off or be anything other than just something that you wanted to do. Honestly, I look back at my YouTube channel right now. I passed 100 subscribers. I think I'm at 118. I look back at my where I host the podcast. I'm using Buzzsprout right now, and I look at my downloads on Apple and I look at my downloads on Spotify, and I'm just like, wow, obviously it's not like huge numbers or anything, but I'm like, you know what, I did that. And like I'm doing that. Like I put out, filmed, produced, edited, recorded, sound, freaking 8 episodes so far. This is my 9th. Like, and I am still going. So start your projects and do the things that you want to with just for yourself. Like this is really like for myself and for the people that kind of just enjoy listening to me yap and talk about things. So I want to start off with that before I'm deeply personal already at the beginning. This is what I'm saying. Solo episodes are the best of both worlds because you just got a whole bunch of personal business of mine about like how I'm doing this project and all of that and why I can't be consistent. I mean, I'm striving to be consistent, but I can't always post every week, etc. And that segues me into my personal and real life updates of the month. Okay, we'll start off. I just have 3, and the last one is kind of what's gonna carry us into our topic of the episode. Update number 1, I went on vacation. I went to Colombia. I still have to edit and post more of the pictures that I took, but if you follow me on my personal Instagram at Sarah Asensio or on my personal TikTok at Sarah Asensio, you're gonna see lots of Colombia content. It was best. I am like, it's so nostalgic for me to be there. It feels like home. I get to eat all my favorite foods, all my childhood snacks. It was the best. I went with my husband, and I always love when my husband gets to come to Colombia with me, because we kind of get to like, explore together. And there's things that he knows about Colombia, and like places he wants to try to go to that he loved from previous trips, and it's just the best. And then I also went with one of our close friends, Eunice, and it was her first time in Colombia, and it was kind of fun just for her to see the culture, see the vibes. And so we had literally a great time. You never know how it's going to go when you travel with your friends, like, let's be for real. Or when you travel with like literally anyone in general that's like not your family. You never know how it's going to go. Like, what are the vibes? What are they going to want to do? There's so many different personality types. And like, my husband always says that I'm a vacationer and he's a traveler. I think that's what the term is. And it's true. Like, I love to travel and literally have days and pockets of time where I don't do anything. My husband likes to travel and wants to be up at 6 a.m, like doing stuff. So I was like, when you bring in like a friend into the mix, it's like, okay, like, are we gonna, like, how's it gonna be? But thankfully everything was well. And I'll give you guys like some tea or something there. We're like, okay, the vibes are so good. Like, how do we keep the vibes up? At the end of each day, we would have a little like debrief / processing sesh, and we talk about like the day that we just lived, and we'd be like, okay, what was everyone's highs? What was everyone's lows? Like, anything we need to process, anything that maybe like was annoying or irked us or whatever. And thankfully we didn't have any of that, but we were still able to kind of just hear each other out on like our POVs and our like views and perceptions of the day in general. And that helps. So pro tip, I guess, if you are traveling with a friend, have your little debriefs and process and all of that. I feel like that was like really, really helpful, and we had a great time. So yeah, that was my little vacation spiel. It was so much fun. Update number 2 of the month. It was recently my husband's birthday, and we had ourselves a birthday weekend. Okay, and this is my, I don't know what this is the perfect equation for a birthday weekend. Okay, there's a trifecta: friends, family, and like you, and like if you're in a couple, like you and your person. So we had ourselves the perfect birthday weekend. On Friday night, it was just me and him, and we went to the strings quartet performance thing, and it was like we had literally the time of our lives. And then we went to dinner, and it was like so much fun. Oh, and then after dinner we went to Target, and we just bought stuff, and one of the gifts that I gave him was like a Nintendo Switch. And so we were just like in Target after dinner, after the string quartet performance, like literally like ideal day. So we had ourselves a little date night, just me and him. The next day we had ourselves the family day, the family hang. So at this point, all bases are covered, right? Like his family, my family, like everybody's there. We're all like hanging out. We're all getting quality time together. The moms are happy. Cake, singing happy birthday, my niece and nephew, stunning vibes. And then after that, we had our little friend situation. We had ourselves a game night. I have balloons in the apartment. For him, I decorated. We ordered pizza. We literally cracked up playing games. Like literally, I almost peed my pants at one point. Like that's how hilarious it was. And I just wanted to set something up for my husband where he would just have a good time laughing with his friends, and that mission was accomplished. And that is the trifecta of a perfect birthday weekend: friends, family, and then just alone time with me and him. So that recently happened, and it was great. And my last update of the month, which segues us perfectly into the topic that we're going to talk about, is in the last like 4 to 6 weeks, actually no, I think I'm going to expand. I'm going to do the last 3 months, like 9 to 12 weeks. I have started posting on TikTok consistently, and I have been I've been gathering all my observations. I've been collecting all my data. I've been doing my full data analysis. And I'm like, okay, I am ready to talk about the observations that I've had as I've started to navigate the TikTok world and posting more on it after I've had a couple of videos and posts that have surpassed 100,000 views. You know, I haven't made anything viral that's hitting millions of views or any super large numbers. I don't have a huge following or anything, but I'm like, but I've posted enough to kind of see what works, what doesn't work, and I've posted enough to kind of gain some really good insights. And I'm like, I need to talk about this on my podcast, because my podcast is all about this stuff. Anything that's in digital marketing, anything that's like social media, anything that's like creative, it's a topic that we must discuss here in Blur and Grain. So I'm going to be talking about all of that today. I want to talk about TikTok, short form content in general, monetizing for small influencers and creators, creator programs. I want to talk about the TikTok shop creator program, because I have some cool little insights from just what I've been trying to do there for the last couple of weeks. And I wanted to kind of just share my story, share my insights, encourage some people, and kind of maybe give people like a different point of view, or kind of maybe offer to share a different perspective that has not been covered yet. So let's get started. I'm going to share my story on TikTok, and kind of like the first video that I made that I feel like kind of gave me another idea, and kind of just how I've been posting, and then surpassing 1,000 followers, which made me eligible for the TikTok shop creator program, etc., etc., etc. So this all started, so I've been on TikTok for like a really long time, honestly, since it first launched as a platform, or since it first became relevant here in America, and this was during 2020. And I didn't really know what I was doing, but I just kind of started posting. And then Instagram has been my like number one for like so long. But recently, like I said, in the last 9 to 12 weeks, I was like, okay, let me try to really TikTok. Okay, I'm really gonna try to TikTok. And I talked about this before in one of my episodes, where I talked about how different social media platforms have different target audiences, or like audiences that are very active on it, and so therefore you should adjust your strategy per platform and not just for social media as a whole. So a lot of people kind of fall into this mindset of, okay, well, this is my social media strategy, and they do the same thing on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, and TikTok, and they just have the same social media strategy for all of those 5 platforms that I named. Well, you know, I want to start off as, you know, the foundation of this whole chat, and the foundation of all my findings has really come from the fact that there are different age groups that are heavily involved in each platform, and so therefore you should make sure that you have a separate strategy per platform that you are on. So we know that, you know, TikTok has a lot of Gen Z, so you should kind of tailor your content strategy on TikTok to mirror, you know, the fact that most of the people on there are younger, and there are lots of younger trends going on there. We also know that Facebook is huge for boomers, Instagram is huge for millennials, and so therefore you can kind of be adjusting your stuff for that. So I started kind of thinking about that, and I was like, okay, well, I have a TikTok, and I'm just like in my personal brand, I'm just like a lifestyle creator. Like, I don't have a niche. I'm just posting. Like, if I see a trend that I want to try with my husband, I'm just posting that. If I'm filming a funny video with my friends, I'm just posting that. If I want to post a photo dump, or if I would think my outfit is cute, I'm just posting that. So I don't really like have a niche. So I was like, okay, well, I've not a lot of followers. This is when I had maybe 400, 500 followers on TikTok. I'm like, I have not a lot of followers, so let me try different things. And I was like, okay, well, what do I do on the weekends? What do I do in my free time? Because during the week, I literally just work. So I'm like, what kind of content can I be making? Like, I'm literally just working. And so on the weekends, one of the things that I love to do with my husband and my friends is like try new places, go to coffee shops or whatever. So one weekend morning, I just made a video of I literally started the video with like, my Houston people, let me put you on. And I kind of talked about a kolache. And honestly, within like 24 to 48 hours, I was getting a couple thousand views. I was getting lots of comments. That video now I think has like 100,000 views, and that was the first time that I thought like, okay, this is interesting. Like, I posted a video very niche to Houston, and it's kind of what's getting a little bit more traction. And I stopped there and I started observing lots of different things. Okay, what are people doing when they search Houston? What is the Houston hashtag looking like? And I just kind of started figuring out what type of content can I put out that is Houston related. And because I am a foodie, I was like, okay, well, let me start doing these like food that I love recently in Houston. And I've been doing, photos towards that, or like new places that I've tried, or more videos of like, hey, you guys didn't know this place has a really good lunch special. It's like food recommendation, Houston recommendations type of content. And every single Houston recommendation content piece that I put out on TikTok has literally like had a couple thousand views. So that's something that I saw that's really working, but that's for me specifically to like a local audience. In general, here are in general, like in a practical sense, I was like, okay, there is a lot of depth here that we can kind of like, I'm like, there's so many different ways in which we can talk about this and so many different angles that we can look at it. But one of the practical tips that I wanted to give out today, if you are someone that is starting a business or want to put yourself out there locally, is a really good place to start. So let's say you are a photographer or a creative, definitely post on TikTok targeting your city, and that's really going to make all the difference. Sometimes on Instagram that is harder to do than what I'm finding is easier on TikTok. On Instagram, hashtags aren't doing much for you, and aside from that, the location, like tagging the location, is also not doing much for you. Additionally, the Instagram algorithm is shaped so differently to where if you go on the Reels tab, you are discoverable to anybody depending on the algorithm, but on your homepage, you are not. TikTok is in reverse, where your homepage or your For You page is just feeding you primarily content from people that you don't follow. And so that really boosts your discoverability on TikTok. Where on Instagram, people are on their homepage most of the time and it's only feeding them content of the people that they follow. So it's a little bit harder to get discovered locally if you're really wanting to, unless people on Instagram are looking up Houston photographer or Houston coffee or Houston jewelry or Houston candles or something like that. Unless that is specifically what is being looked up on Instagram, the odds of someone finding you at random are lower. Whereas on TikTok, your algorithm is tailored in such a different way, and if you're local, you're going to be fed local stuff from people that you don't follow, and that's something that's happened to me. And I'm sure it has happened to you if you're active on TikTok. If they know the city that you live in, they're going to feed you content from the city that you live in. So if you're starting out a business or a project or a product that you are selling, my number one recommendation for you today is get on TikTok and leverage your local audience on TikTok. The chances of you being discoverable to randos or new customers, new leads, are definitely higher. And so that's kind of what I kind of started to observe on my own. And so get this, I started doing like local Houston recommendation type of content, and pretty much every single piece of content, like I just said, that I put out that's like about Houston kind of picks up. But then I hit 1,000 followers and I applied and got accepted to the TikTok Shop Creator Program. Now I will say, and I don't even have the capacity to like share everything on the TikTok Shop Creator Program, because I got onto that side of the app and they offer so many resources and tools and things and tiers and whatever. I will say that I am at the very entry level TikTok Shop Creator Program thing, which means that I'm not eligible for all of the items on TikTok Shop. I'm only available for some of the items on TikTok Shop. And let me get started on an early version of Tea Time. These products are literally, I don't even know how I can like sell these well because they're literally like so random and like not good quality, and I'm over there like, yeah, look, buy these glasses. But like literally I'm just being like as straight up as I can be, and I'll deep dive into that more into tea time. But I literally thought I was buying blue light glasses, and they were not blue light glass at all. They're just literally just like regular frames. And I'm like, okay, I thought I was gonna make a video, like in my mind I was like, okay, I thought I was gonna make a video about like me working and the fact that I'm on my screen all the time and blue light glasses like helped me or whatever, and I'm gonna be able to like sell that better. No, now I'm gonna have to like, I'm still gonna try to make a video about it, but I'm like, I have to like change my whole approach, and that comes from the fact that I'm not eligible for the bigger, larger, nicer products that I actually want to be putting on my showcase. But anyways, I got accepted into the TikTok Shop Creator Program, which led me into a whole other spiel. I feel like this episode could literally be like 5 hours long. This led me to a whole other spiel on selling on TikTok, monetization for creators, and what's available out there for people that are on Instagram versus for people that are on TikTok, the different ways in which you can go about it, how you can actually start earning, money on that, doing, selling or like TikTok shop selling and all of that. And so here's some of the other observations that I have made. First of all, I want to start by saying, if you do want to get started in, growing your platform and or monetizing your platform, you have to first do your research and put yourselves through the lens of a regular consumer. I mean, there's nothing that is more helpful than just spending some time observing what other creators are doing and observing what's popping up on your specific homepage or For You page, what's popping up on your algorithm, seeing what they're hashtagging, seeing what their comments are like, making sure that you're observing and absorbing all of this information, because putting yourself, through the lens of a consumer is ultimately what's going to help you shape your own strategy. So do your research, place yourself in the shoes of a consumer, and that way you can start to develop your strategy and have hyper awareness into what people are doing around you, and that's 100% going to help you. And all of these things paired together. So let's say like, you're on TikTok, you're being strategic, you're doing your research, you're hyper aware. Once you have a general understanding and you feel comfortable about like, okay, I kind of know the kind of like, after you've like taken in so much content, you easily start getting ideas of the type of content that you could put out. Once you're at that place where you're like, okay, I have a couple of ideas, I kind of know what I want to do, realize this. Starting on TikTok and creating and growing a following on TikTok is still so accessible for young startup brands and for startup creators. TikTok is still, to this day, it's not something that was only happening 5 years ago. It's something that's actively happening right now. They still have mastered the art of an algorithm that favors anybody, because they're pushing out your content to random people every single day, and your chances of your content being discoverable are higher than in any other platform by far. And that should be enough like proof or push to get started on TikTok and to take TikTok seriously. It is free to get your content out in front of a bunch of people in a way that on Meta or Facebook, Instagram, it's, some people maybe would put ad money behind getting their content in front of fresh new faces, whereas on TikTok with, organically, it won't always hit, right? But every single time that you post organically, you have a chance to be discovered. So I want to, practical tip, get started. There is still time. TikTok is still super favorable and super accessible if you're starting out. So back to my TikTok shop creator journey. One of the things that I noticed, if you are interested in monetizing TikTok or making any money on the internet, which is, by the way, I don't know if I said this earlier, but the main reason why I wanted to kind of give TikTok a chance is because I get fed all these videos all the time, because I'm in this like digital strategy / marketing algorithm. I get fed, and we all get fed these videos all the time of like how much money I made this month and that month and whatever. And I'm like, are people really making thousands of dollars like on the internet? And I stalked some of these people, and they don't even have a lot of followers. And I'm like, I don't know if they're scamming, if they're lying, or what it is. But what I do know is that it is possible to make money on the internet. And I was like, let me try to explore that to its full extent, to its full potential. Can I make money on TikTok? What is the easiest way? How can I do it? How can I get there? And I was like, let me just take that on as a side quest, as a project, because at this point in time, it's worth exploring. It's worth exploring if I can literally like make a video, link a product, and make money off of it. It's worth exploring to me. So I started doing that, and I kind of there's this comparison that I've kind of put in my brain. So TikTok is doing something very unique where after you are eligible for the TikTok Shop Creator Program, they let you add products to your showcase. Your showcase pops up as an additional tab on your profile. So anybody who hits your profile and goes to your showcase and clicks on this product and buys it, they're kind of giving you a commission off of it. This is the same concept that Amazon affiliates do, and Like to Know It, and all of these other different, affiliate programs out there. It's the same kind of concept, except on TikTok, it's embedded already into the full platform, into your profile. So whereas if you're an influencer posting on Instagram, you're linking an Amazon product as an affiliate link, and it's getting you out of Instagram and into another platform to complete your purchase. Or if you're a creative or an influencer on Like to Know It, you're posting on Instagram, you're linking the products, you post on your story, or you have it in your link in bio, and then you're exiting the Instagram platform to go into Like to Know It, to then out of Like to Know It, go into another page, wherever it is that you're shopping, to actually complete your transaction. Well, TikTok, being a little bit genius here with their approach, they're like, no, you're gonna shop in our app. Like, you're gonna shop in our app. You're not gonna have to click out to go to another platform. You're gonna shop in our app, and if anybody is interested in the products that you have to offer, they just go on your profile, hit your showcase, and within the app can make a purchase. And that is the gold that I want to talk about. That you're removing all sorts of barriers. Like, TikTok is removing all sorts of barriers of having to link out somewhere or get lost or whatever, have to create an account from the account that you already have on TikTok. As you are literally scrolling, watching your silly videos, if at any moment you see something pop up that you want to buy, within 2 to 3 clicks, you can purchase it, and you are still in the app. And that is genius. And that also made me realize, like, okay, I'm seeing the comparison, Instagram Like to Know It affiliate links versus TikTok Shop being able to do it all on your own within what platform. And I was like, this has been growing. So then I did a little bit of deep dive, and I'm realizing that TikTok Shop now, lots of big brands are starting to enter TikTok Shop. And that is because these big brands are probably realizing that there is so much potential here. Now, now I'm seeing even like reputable skincare and makeup products on TikTok Shop. I'm seeing like Levi's on TikTok Shop. I'm seeing stores like Tilly's on TikTok Shop and selling products on TikTok Shop. And there's many different ways in which you can sell the item. People are doing live social selling on TikTok Live, but then they're also just having products on their showcase through their profiles, and then they're also making linking products to content, which is the usual ads that you probably see every 2 to 3 scrolls or every 5 to 6 scrolls. I don't really know what it is, but something that I realize is, whereas you get on Instagram or you get on Facebook and you see lots of ads, on TikTok you don't see that many ads, but you are seeing a TikTok Shop video every couple of scrolls. And that is a prime example of why it's important to have a different strategy based on a different platform, because whereas Facebook and Instagram prioritize ads, TikTok does not prioritize ads as much, but it does give micro influencers and micro creators the ability, after they pass 1,000 followers, to be selling different things. It also gives large brands the ability to have their products on the shop so that other micro influencers can kind of sell their products for them. And it's just kind of so many, like, I'm literally blown away by like the observations that I have made on this. So this is all that I've kind of been like kind of going through within my TikTok journey. Like, it literally started with like posting Houston recommendation content, and then it went to passing 1,000 followers and exploring the world of TikTok Shop, and then it went to like, okay, deep dive on the world of TikTok Shop and what it is that it has to offer. Then it went into the comparison of, okay, this is what TikTok is doing for creators and influencers versus this is what Instagram. And then it kind of made me realize, like, no, TikTok continues to be kind of like a gold mine. And I think, and I'll, this is the conclusion that I have drawn for myself, which is, if you are wanting to start out as a creative creator or influencer that wants to monetize or make money on the internet, I definitely think TikTok is going to be your best bet. Getting 1,000 subscribers on YouTube is significantly harder than getting 1,000 followers on TikTok, and getting 1,000 followers on Instagram is also significantly harder than getting 1,000 followers on TikTok yet again. Also, Instagram doesn't really offer any programs for creators or anybody that is looking to monetize, whereas YouTube does, and so does TikTok. But like I said, getting 1,000 followers on YouTube feels literally impossible compared to how easy it is to getting 1,000 followers on TikTok. So if you're looking to start out, I highly recommend going the TikTok route and exploring what that could look like for you. So I know I just went on like a super deep dive, and if like you tuned into this episode not wanting to get super insane technical language on TikTok, you're probably like super lost. But here's a clean view of like the main takeaways from like everything that I just said. And you can ask me questions about it if you want to expand on anything at any moment. Because as I always do like a big word vomit and then kind of like try to reel it back in at the end. So here are the main takeaways. Number 1, realizing that Instagram or TikTok are separate platforms and should be treated as such with separate strategies. Number 2, TikTok is still accessible for young brands and creators. I have tested this myself. It is still accessible. It's still the easiest platform for growth and the easiest platform to get started on monetization. Number 3, be strategic about what you put out, do your research, and place yourself in the shoes of a consumer. Number 4, be hyper aware into what people are doing, and that kind of goes with number 3 in developing your research. And it will help you to be observant of what is going on generally in that platform. And last little key takeaway, if you want to get started on the internet, now is your time. It is not too late. It is not too outdated. That's another thing that I kind of tested and tried during my TikTok journey. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna literally start posting at random and see what hits. And I've gained, I think in total 600 or 700 followers, and I've been able to join this program and do that. It's like, okay, at any given moment that you want to start, you can, and you can kind of see some traction in it. So that's why if you want to get started on the internet, now is your time to do so. And I'm gonna end with my bit more of my like tea time story of this whole TikTok shop thing, where it's like literally I can only get access to the products that are like $5. So just imagine getting a $5 pair of glasses, which like they're actually like so cute and they look great. And so when I'm making my little videos about them, like I mean it. I'm literally buy the glasses because they're $5. Like, why wouldn't you want to buy $5 glasses that are cute? However, obviously they're $5 glasses, so their quality is as such. Like, it isn't like these are super high quality glasses. And I'm like, okay, what the heck? Then I got these flats, and I didn't realize that you can only link TikTok shop products through video. You can't do like photos. So I took all these photos with these flats, and I couldn't like link the product at the end because it doesn't accept photos as an acceptable content format. It has to be video. So, and I'm like, got it. And then I'm over here trying to film this video of my shoes, and I'm like, how the heck do I film a cute video of shoes? And I'm like, I still have to put that one out there. And then I got these blue light glasses that I thought were blue light glasses, but they were literally not. They're just like frames. Like, they're just literally decorative. Like, they're cute glasses, and they like literally I feel like they look good on me, but they're not blue light glasses. And then I got this LED light that I still have to try out. I got this little lamp that I still have to try out, and then I got these like karaoke mics that I want to make a silly video on. So now I'm entering this other realm of like, okay, in the last 6 to 12 weeks, I've been posting Houston recommendation content, doing lots of carousels, doing lots of photos, trying to add more lifestyle into my TikTok, trying to show like my shopping hauls and shoes that I found that are cute, etc. Just whatever it is that I'm doing on the weekend, I'm trying to make a post out of it for my week on TikTok. Okay, so I've got that down. Now I'm gonna start like really trying to deep dive into making videos, linking products. I'm gonna try to do cute aesthetic videos, and then I'm gonna try to do like videos of me talking, and then I'm gonna try to do candid type of videos. So I'm gonna explore different strategies and see what hits. So I'm gonna report back to you guys with my findings. And also, if you follow me on TikTok at Sarah Asensio, I am making videos as I go of like my findings of the TikTok Shop Creator Program. And I also did a video. It was like a 4-minute video, and that's the video that I got my inspiration to do this podcast episode on, because I'm like, I can continue to talk about this. So that's kind of going to be my next deep dive into the world of TikTok, and I'll keep you guys updated. But for tea time is literally, I'm gonna be making videos trying to sell $2 glasses. Like, that's literally tea time. Like, that's literally a reality, and I'll do so gladly, because I'm fully, like I said, to the full extent exploring the possibility of, making money on the internet and monetizing TikTok as a platform and figuring out how to go about that. So I'll keep you guys updated on my findings, but that's pretty much everything I had for this episode, which was just a deep dive into my TikTok journey and my insights. I hope you found it interesting somehow. I realized that I would just went so niche on this topic, but I really just want to start the conversation. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Remember to subscribe to me at Blur and Grain Podcast on YouTube. Follow me at Blur and Grain Podcast on Instagram and on TikTok. And then you can follow my personal Instagram and TikTok at Sarah Asensio. DM me or comment on any of these accounts, and I'll be sure to kind of just like I said, I wanted to start the conversation, but I hope to continue it through just different people that kind of want to talk about it and know more about it. But yeah, this was episode 9, second to last episode of season 1. Next episode, I'm going to be doing a Q&A, maybe with a special guest or maybe just me. But if you have any questions, feel free to send them my way, because next episode I really just want to be kind of answering questions to kind of wrap up the season. Anyways, that's all I had for today. I'll see you guys on the next one.